Dave here with Half Dozen Customs. We're out here in the shop this morning or afternoon now. And we have our new welder over here, this Sefaspe, who was sent to us by the company to test out and see how we like it. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. We've been using it around the shop. It works really well. I'm happy with it. So we need to make a home for it here. Now this welder that we have here, it's old trusty. I've had it for a long time. It works good most of the time. Sometimes it can be a little finicky. But we still use it. It's 110. At the moment, I am using a 220 extension cord that I borrowed from my buddy who owns a Jeep, and I don't know, it's maybe only like a 15-foot cord. So it only gets me to about right here, halfway into the shop. So 110, still gonna get used around here. I've been looking at the new welding carts that are you know, bigger, and they hold multiple things, and they hold big bottles without tipping over, and you know, you can mount a couple bottles on it. You know, this little cart I've had for a long time. I think I got it with my Craftsman welder that I had 20 years ago. And we're just gonna see. I've taken some measurements. I don't think that welder is gonna fit down here. I think we need to move up this metal shelf some. But let's take everything off of here. Needs to be cleaned off, blown out anyways. And then we'll see if we can stick this new welder down here on the bottom. And if not, we'll move up this middle shelf, and then it should fit no problem. And then we'll be good for now. You know, at least until... So I need to figure out if there's a way that I can run both welders off of one bottle. That would be nice, but maybe just a valve between the welders that switches it from one welder to the other. But the new welder does TIG welding, so we're gonna end up getting that whole set up and getting a bottle and all that. And when that happens, it's not happening today or tomorrow or next week. But when it does happen, we're gonna have to figure out either how to modify this cart to fit everything, or get a different cart. Blowgun, blow this out real quick. Let's see, does this fit? I took some measurements, and my measurements said no, but man, it sure does look like it's awfully close. So, it's a handle, which is what I measured, and it said no. Okay, so we're gonna take this middle shelf and I say, well, we'll move it up a couple inches here. So let's get some tools here and pull that shelf out. So I don't know if you guys see that. So if it wasn't for this handle, it would fit. And I don't want to take that handle off, because when I got to change the wire and everything, it would be nice to have that handle on there. Let's see what the best way. So I'm thinking maybe the best way is to move this hole up. We'll take a measurement, we'll move it up the same on both sides. I'm thinking 2 inches. And then we can kind of bolt that in, and we can hold this thing up and level it, and we can mark on the inside where those 2 holes sit, because this thing's on an angle. So, you know, we may only be able, going up 2 inches, we may only be able to get 1 hole in here. So instead of having to drill new holes in this and in that, we'll just hold it up, we'll mark where those holes are. And once we get it bolted in, if we really want to drill a new hole in there, we can and whatnot. But let's measure this and get this up. We have one lined up. Let's get a bolt in it so we don't lose it. Okay, I think that'll work. We're just going right up against this. There's this lower bolt for this bracket. It's on both sides. We're just going right up against the bottom of those. It looks like it's level-ish. these extra bolts back in here so they stay put and you don't lose them. We could maybe get this hole in here if we did it maybe on an angle or ream this out. It would just be right up against this edge and the brackets right there. I think it's just best that we just do it the way that I just set it up. I think we're good. Oh man, it's warm out here. Now, the one thing that's a bummer is that we're losing a shelf. Now, I don't have a ton of stuff up there, but we're gonna definitely have, you know, this little shelf here is gonna be jammed full now. Stick my magnets up top, that'll kind of help clear up. Okay, the only okay, as I was about to say, but I was off camera. The one thing that I could see maybe doing is putting a decent sized hole in the back of this so that we can run the gas line down into the back and not have to remove this from the cart to use it. Before I go and do that, so I have a vehicle that's in the back that I work on when I can. I try and work on it every week. That doesn't always happen, but I don't have a 220 extension cord that'll reach all the way back there to use this welder. So I need to have this welder set up. Because this welder is 110, I can park it anywhere in the shop and be able to plug it in. So for right now, I'm gonna set this guy back up. Just because I can use him on the other vehicle. until I get the 50-foot 220 extension cord to where I can actually use this other one in the back, I'm not going to worry about having this guy hooked up. So another thing, I got to go this week. So this welder down here, it doesn't take the same wire as this welder. So my buddy that owns the Jeep, I know what his welder uses, so I ran over there and I grabbed his roll so that we could hook up this guy down here. So I gotta go to my welding shop, which is just right down the road here, and pick him up a new spool, since I stole his, and just grab him a new one. I'm gonna see if there's any way that we can hook up two welders to one bottle. I'm gonna see what my welding guy says about that. And then I'm going to I'm gonna talk to him about what I need to get this thing set up for TIG, because I'm gonna need another bottle, and need to get that filled. I need to find out how much it costs to get the bottle, how much it costs to fill it every time. See if maybe I can start an account with them so that they can just give that to me and I'll pay it off as we go. We'll have to see, but I gotta go this week and get that figured out. So we will have more information at the end of the week as to what is going on with this new welder. I definitely want to get it set up to where I can use this thing on a regular basis. I like it. But you know, a 50-foot cord is like $100. And then it's probably, I'm expecting a tank, and having that filled is probably going to be $200. If I remember correctly, like, that might even be more than $200. If I remember correctly, like, back in the day, I paid like $150 for this bottle, and then I had to buy the regulator for it, which, you know, if I remember correctly, that was another $50 or $60 for the regulator. And then I had to have the bottle filled, which is another like $35. So, but I don't know. I got this bottle 20 years ago, so I don't know. I don't know what they cost now. They could have gone down. They could have gone up. I don't know. Maybe I got ripped off back then. Who knows? So gotta talk to him. Gotta figure out what's going on. But I'm figuring to, and then the TIG torch. I want to say that that's like another $70 or something like that, $75. And then I need to get a TIG rod. So I don't know what a pack of those cost. I'm figuring, you know, just to get this thing up and going the way that I want it, you know, it's probably gonna cost me at the very least $300. If not 400. So, and that's not even getting it set up with spool gun yet. I haven't even looked into the spool guns to see what they cost. But I think spool gun would maybe be an interesting thing. This thing welds aluminum and other styles of metal like that. I believe that we can weld stainless steel with it as well. Now, the one thing that I don't know, that I haven't researched or I haven't figured out yet, is can we take that? Or is that a spool gun? So, I've never tigged before in my life, but I have welded aluminum before, and when I welded the aluminum, it was done with the spool gun. So, how does that work? I don't know. I know that they TIG aluminum and stainless. I understand that, but does this machine do it? That's something that I got to research and figure out, and hopefully to do aluminum. I'm hoping to do aluminum and stainless and all that. We will be able to do that with TIGging, and that's another thing with the TIGging as well is does this bottle that I have here right now, does that work with the TIGging if I'm TIGging metal? Or do I have to have another bottle for TIGging? I don't quite know. So I could see why a lot of people don't do the whole TIGging thing, because it's expensive just to get it set up for that. You know, and for somebody to spend all that money and they really have no idea what they're doing or how to do it, or if it's even something that they're gonna, like, I could get it and be like, nope, this was a failure, and I'm never gonna use this again. Now, I highly doubt that, but you know, I could see maybe the spool gun being that. You know, luckily when we did the TIG welding on this, you know, we did the stick welding on this, and luckily I had that stuff. Luckily I didn't have to go out and purchase any sticks to do the stick welding test part of this. Okay, let me get something, tighten that up real quick. Okay, well, I think we got that. I think we got that pretty much cleaned up, and we got old trusty back in service for now, and we will touch base again with this whole setup here a little later, possibly later in the week. But yeah, at least we got a new welder and it's working good, and I'm able to kind of clean up the mess that's been around here the last couple weeks while we try to film everything and get everything working and set up and whatnot. So just getting stuff cleaned up and put back away, and I'm happy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I know it wasn't a super exciting video, but it was just something that I needed to get done and figured I'd film it, so. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.
Oh.